Time for rolling.
Welcome to Time for Rolling Esports, the weekly podcast that brings you Vainglory Esports. From predictions to recaps and analysis, we present to you the best in professional Vainglory. Now here's your hosts, Endless and Crude. It's
Time for rolling.
Did you hear that?
No.
I had a Happy New Year countdown going down, and it counted all the way down to 0, and then it said Happy New Year.
Nope. Did not hear any of that.
All right, well, Happy New Year, Crudeslaw.
Hey, Happy New Year, Endless. Yeah.
Why are you so quiet? I gotta fix your mic.
Uh-oh.
Sounds
know.
like you're
I'm talking
miles
into the mic.
away. Okay, hang on. How about now?
Should I eat it?
Ooh,
Should I eat it?
I mean, that's a little better, but user volume, let's turn it up some.
Turn it up.
How do you feel being in 2018?
Feels like a new year, man. New year, new me.
New year,
I'm
new.
just kidding.
New year, new me. What's
No.
your plans for the new year? What's going to be new about you? Are you going to be less triggered playing Vainglory?
No, probably not. Hopefully I'll be able to help you out a little bit more, though, with some of this stuff.
Oh, yeah?
How does that make you feel?
We'll see if it happens.
Hey, I'm figuring the computer out a little bit. Like, I'm starting to get. I got my dual monitors up. I did that on. I got that
I feel
going.
like the only thing you're figuring out is how to beat the next raid in WoW.
I have been playing a little bit of World of Warcraft.
Are you more triggered by Vainglory or Fortnite on the computer?
Oof. Probably Fortnite. I'm probably more triggered by.
Just because you're bad at it because you're not used to controls yet.
Yeah, I'm an Xbox player, so like I haven't played much any PC games, and getting used to controls is interesting to say the least.
That is very true. It's like, oh, there's a person in front of me. I need to build. Let me look down at my keyboard. Where's F3? Okay, there it is. Oh, I died.
And you're dead
10
already.
seconds ago.
The right targets. That is one trade. T-Tigers is still pretty healthy. Tries to jump in. He finds one. This is a big turnaround for Liberation X. They might get the third. They might find an ace here onto Lost Boy Top. Surrey Strike is not enough. The Gunman goes down. He might go for Donna Twips. He's going to get one. He's going to get two. Lost Boy Top.
Oh, Lost Boy Top. He does it. He gets the 2 versus 1 turnaround under the turret.
He lifts two.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Endless 55 here. Ooh, what episode is it? I didn't even check. 73. No, 72. Crude's not.
You're asking me?
72. Episode 72. We're ringing the new year in with episode 72. It is 2018. I hope everyone had a safe New Year's. I hope everyone enjoyed whatever they happen to do. Crude and I hung out with the parents like real party animals, but we did have fun.
Yeah, consumed a few adult beverages.
I won a lot of the games. I think Crude was on the losing team for most of the night. My team won a lot of the different games we played. A lot of euchre. I don't know if it's a pretty big Midwest thing. I'm not sure if our listeners know what euchre is. It's a thing we live and die by here and in good old Indiana.
If you play euchre, go ahead and tweet at us. Let us know if you know how to play euchre.
Yeah, we'll start a little LAN event, a euchre tournament / Vainglory. No, but like being at college, you're like, hey, you want to play some euchre? And someone who's from like not Indiana, they're like, what's euchre? I'm just like, are you serious? You've never heard of euchre before? I thought it's just like I thought it was just like go fish, like euchre and go, like they're just the same thing.
Right.
But it's not. Uh-oh. PTP camera quit unexpectedly. Ignore? Am I recording still? Oh, I am. All right, we're good.
Should we do that? Should we ignore it?
I ignored it. I don't have time to deal with it right now.
Okay.
So 2018, looking back at 2017, I don't know. Do you have any favorite moments?
Should we tell?
What?
Should we tell them the purpose of this episode? That we're just kind of,
Purpose of this
recapping?
episode is we're going to go ahead and talk about some things in 2017. Maybe some favorite things that happened, anything that we are glad to leave behind in 2017. Maybe talk a little bit about 2018. Not only what we can't wait for, but our hopes for 2018. Maybe
our hopes
we
and
could just
dreams.
talk about like some New Year resolutions. Like, do you have any New Year resolutions when it comes to Vainglory in 2018? We'll put that on the side burner and come back to it. But
Oh, I had the perfect answer, but okay.
you write it down right now so your ass don't forget it.
Okay, I got it. We're good.
But yeah, not too much going on in the Vainglory world. Thursday's episode will have a little more true context to it. We just wanted to get this one out to you guys as quick as possible. Tuesday, Thursday schedule should be back in full swing. Thursday, we will be hopefully gathered all of our lovely information we need to talk about because we got scammed, or as a lot of the community believes we did. So we will give our opinion about the latest drama between SEMC and the community. It's just kind of like a bad relationship. I feel like no matter, it's just like you're in a relationship with a girl, and no matter what you do, you always get in trouble. And I feel like SEMC is, just that's what happens to them. No matter what they do, they're always in trouble.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they get damned a lot. So we'll talk about that. Crude and I will give our opinions on Thursday, and we are known to be pretty suck ass. Is that the right?
What?
Kiss ass.
What? Please tell me you're leaving that in there. You are not editing that out.
I need my coffee this morning before we did this. A little, like Crude said, too many adult beverages. Anyways, so we always shut up. We're always team SEMC, but we're honest. We don't always kiss ass just because. So we'll give our opinions and discuss that on Thursday. And there's been a lot of content I've been gathering from people's opinions across Twitter and articles and. Just so there's been a lot involved. This is maybe one of the biggest blow-ups we've had in a long time. Like, it was wild. But that's Thursday episode. So let's get back to today's episode. We are recapping 2017, future 2018. A lot happened in 2017. The podcast happened in 2017. Was that your greatest moment of 2017?
It's up there. I don't know if it's the greatest because, it was cool and all, but I think there's some other highlights that we could say that were pretty exciting for us in 2017. Would you agree with that?
I would. There was a lot of things that kind of progressed throughout 2017 that was pretty cool for us, just from starting as nobodies, just like I've already mentioned in my little thank you write-up, is, we started as just community members who kind of just lurked. We followed streamers, we were on Twitter, we were, we always just kind of never really did anything to have people know who we were. We weren't Vainglorious players, so we weren't known in that aspect either. So then for people to start knowing who we were and following us, that was obviously probably one of the biggest highlights, is just actually creating something that people enjoyed. So starting the podcast, I guess, would be the only reason why we're here right now in 2017. God, dying, sorry. I had a couple moments that I truly enjoyed. I think we ended 2017 really well. Like, the end of 2017 was great. Because, we started not really knowing what we wanted to do. We had spring, summer. That's how the seasons were kind of matching up. Winter wasn't really much. It was really just spring, summer, and then autumn didn't really truly matter. That was all leading up to Worlds. So like we went through all of spring. We had our first unified. So that was pretty sweet over in London. I don't know, London was cool. I mean, we didn't go or anything, but like that was like our first event where everyone, like the Europe NA, came together. So that was like leading up to summer. I don't know. We didn't really do anything too crazy throughout spring and summer. We were still pretty rookies at this, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, spring and summer, like, it was definitely a learning curve for us for a little bit. And I mean, obviously, I think we still are learning and we'll continue to learn and grow. But like, that was just, I don't know. Like, let me remind you, first of all, like, we are definitely the podcast for VG8. You know, like, we haven't had anything for a while. So some of these podcasts have just been us kind of talking, and like, trust me, once VG8 starts back up, we will be getting back into that. I am missing doing that a lot, you know, doing predictions, talking, recaps, analysis. That's what I miss the most probably right now. But
yeah, for sure. And we are gonna figure out what we enjoy doing for the rest of 2018 when it comes to like recaps. And now, like, predictions, we enjoy predictions. Those are fun. We can kind of really speculate what we want to happen, what we like to see, and that's all gonna change. Like it's almost, we kind of have to start over with 5v5. We got to figure out what's going to work with the new format, and especially with us, because we're going to have to find new schedules, like the new schedule that's going to happen. Because if competitive does not happen until March, we got all of January and February to fill. So, and we'll talk about what we want to happen for that time. But so everything we did in 2017 that could change, like the recap episodes. Those are normally longer. I feel like our numbers are lower on those. You know, we may switch it up a little bit. Instead of us going through every draft, every game, we may just focus on the intense ones that we felt like were the most intense, and we may just quickly recap everything else and have more of a chill, just talk about kind of the stuff that happened. And that'll all just depend. We'll have to fill it out again once 5v5 starts, because, you know, we've talked about what's the schedule going to be like for 5v5. Are they going to be able to fit everything in on Saturday and Sunday, or will it change into more spread out? It's really just going to depend on what SEMC wants to do. So we're really letting and holding out until SEMC releases more information. Hopefully we'll be able to get some insider information so we can start planning and prepping. But you know, spring, summer, that went by, you know, pretty fast. We saw 2 unified champions. Cloud9, of course, won both of those. You know, we saw teams entering and leaving through the challengers, coming back in. So it was decently healthy, the competitive scene. I think the competitive scene got the most healthy and the most truly competitive across the full board, I would say, pretty much, with a few weak teams. End of summer going into autumn, which was the peak we needed going right into Worlds. Of course, you know, I think it is our biggest episode. You know, was bringing on Fuji, Tasty, and Humanist, having all of them talk about 5v5, being a part of the 5v5 reveal, being a part of the content creators that were releasing sneak peek about it. Was pretty awesome that we got the chance to do that.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my highlights. I was going to have to say is probably, you know, us, like we had talked about earlier, going from just being just community members, so, you know, we're nobodies, and I mean, technically still are nobodies. We just do this for fun, but to getting to interview, you know, an SEMC employee, you know, some of the top casters in Vainglory, you know, just having all those fun guests on, that was definitely one of the highlights for me.
Yeah, I mean, being able to ask people, like, hey, do you want to come on my show? And they're like, oh, yeah, I'd love to. It's just kind of cool to be like, they're not like, who are you? Why are you relevant? So hopefully we can still continue to grow and have more people, competitive-wise, that want to come on the show there, and hopefully get it more of a, I don't know, like a usual thing to maybe have competitive players on and that kind of stuff. That'd be a big hope of 2018 for me, is just be able to, you know, do type of quick interviews. And I know they do that on the stream, and that'd be awesome to have with us. And it's just so hard with scheduling and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, a player's not getting paid coming on our show, so why do they want to maybe take the time to come on real quick and talk about what happened? But who knows? We'll see what happens with going into 5v5. But yeah, the rest of 2017 it ended like probably on the biggest high note we had, just going into Worlds, doing all the content for Worlds. it was rough. I mean, a lot of people would not commit to time. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and toot my own horn, but like, we stayed
Yeah.
up for how many hours throughout Worlds? We did do 4 episodes, and tried it. We stuck to our guns, and no matter how much we were suffering, we were still enjoying it and loved talking about each day after it happened at 10 a.m. after we had just stayed up all night as long as we could and switched shifts of sleeping just so we could get a few hours here and there. Like, it was just like an insane run that I'm glad we don't have to do more than maybe once a year because it was brutal.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you gave up your health in a way for this. I mean, you got sick over it because of your lack of sleep. I tried to convince you to go to bed sooner and earlier, but you're like, no, Ace versus Pain Zone. I gotta try it. And then you're like, oh, you're like dead, like snoring. So.
I don't have a problem staying up. Like, I can stay up. Like, that first night, I stayed up through the whole night. You know, it was 12 hours. I ended up going to bed towards the end of the stream when you had woken back up, and it was just like, I was good. I could probably stay up the rest of it, but like, just the next day, I just felt like I got hit by a bus, like, over and over. And I'm like, man,
Right.
can you imagine if like each weekend was as rough as this time wise? Like,
Yeah,
dude.
Honestly, I don't know if I'd be able to hang out with it. Like, and
Oh,
be able to continue to
hell
do
no.
it.
This podcast would be over if only time these competitive games were streamed were Singapore time. There ain't no
Oh
way.
man.
That would be insane. But, so I mean, 2017 was a great end. We did a lot of content. Partnering up with, VG Pro was fantastic. Doing that little mini series and having them share content with us to fill out their bracket was awesome. Of course, VG Pro is going to have a whole new website in 2018. That was a big thing that kind of happened. Is Forever, he DM'd me about the retweet this type of thing. They're trying to get 250 retweets, and then before I even got to it, was at like 340, and they're like, all right, let's go to 500, and they released it super early, and so many people were on it that it basically broke, and they took it down so they could like fix things. I was like, that's awesome. They released it early, and then so many people were using it that it broke.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that.
It's going to be using sites like Vain Social and VG Pro are going to be important. I can't wait to start using those more in 2018 for
Right.
5v5. That way because when we look back at what we were doing throughout the year 2017 leading up to Worlds, we didn't know anything about other teams going into Worlds, and that's like one of my main goals to change, is try to stick up with like at least maybe not like the China region, and like maybe not like the Brazil, like the SA region, but really like the SEA and EA, like the regions that I still think are like the most competitive. Try to like keep up with, maybe not watching their matches, but at least what their meta is over there, and keep up with, at least the point systems of like who's winning, who's dominating, instead of me like having to do some research in December, 2 weeks before Worlds, to find out that Renegades has won by 30 points each split. Like, try to keep more up on that, which, that's not really in our control, to be honest. Hopefully I can find out a little easier and be more transparent with SEMC and the people that run that kind of stuff to make those charts and everything more readily available to people. That would be
Maybe
really nice.
Maybe you and I should have assigned regions, like expert analysis on each region, or like try to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of you and I both trying to cover all the regions, like, we'll split it. Side note, guys, listeners, just this is me and Endless chatting here. He'll probably shoot me down.
I mean, I don't care. We can do whatever you want, but it's just gonna us have to find out where we can find VODs / because I mean, I can't tell you the count amount of times I go on Vainglorious eSports website and I go to different regions, and the only true regions they update are mostly NA and EU. They'll update those, obviously, and then EA, and then everything else is kind of like sketchy to truly get good information. I mean, if I'm being honest, that is probably one of my bigger complaints. Like, I could give a shit about golden ticket drama. There's a lot of other things for my podcast that would probably be easier if I had better information and more, static information coming from SEMC when it comes to like brackets and endpoints, that kind of stuff. But
Right.
I mean,
For us, that would definitely help.
yeah, they only have so many people to deal with that. But I think Iraqi and Munchables for a while there were kind of casting EA games towards the end. That'd be something cool other people could pick up on, is maybe finding the VODs and doing an NA cast over them. So seeing VODs from them was cool, and that helped a lot. But even just having a one website on Vainglorious eSports where they truly update everything they can, no matter who's running what tournament and what region, there should be some type of upload where they have to upload brackets for people to keep up with. I think it would help.
Right.
It would help the hype even more going into Worlds if everyone's kind of following it all year long, instead of this, we need Playoff Beard and Fuji to break down each region because no one knew any information about what was happening in those regions until December. And that could
Right.
just be
Yeah,
us.
I mean,
We
I
could
agree.
just be missing this, but I don't think we are.
I don't think so either. I think we would definitely have seen it by now, and we really haven't. So
Yeah, so I don't know. It's going to, like I've already said, this is all speculation going into 5v5. We need to find out what's going to happen. What we do have going, though, will be, we have all the tournaments happening. We'll have the Viz Pro. We have NACL, North American Champ League. Of course, I'll be casting games in that and doing all the kind of stuff with them. So we'll be following these tournaments. Halcyon Elite, they're coming back, I believe, I hope. Originally, they had started that tournament, and then it kind of fell apart there was a lot of pro teams in that leading up to Worlds, and they quit because there was some things that were happening, issues, and then the pro teams were getting ready for Worlds, so it just didn't work out. So if those teams are still in it, like Cloud9 and TSLN, like those were like real big names, so if they're still in it, we'll be having those matches to be talking about. That's all going to be 3v3, but that's going to be interesting for us to watch and see what players are playing where. It'll probably be big for players to maybe get a chance to decide what they want to do, and who knows where we'll see some of the players, end up, basically.
so that will be 3v3. Halcyon Elite will be. You know that?
I believe I haven't seen anyone tweet that they're doing a
Yeah,
tournament
I haven't
on
seen anything
5v5.
either.
I know North American Champions League tried and it just wasn't working out. Viz League already said they were going to be 3v3, and I'm assuming Halcyon Elite would be too, just because if a
Yeah.
healthy 5v5 is released in February where it's not necessarily in testing anymore, I would think this leading up into January, like Nimmet had tweeted, like what we're seeing right now, we've been seeing Bayou, Spaghetti, those are all like the names that we've really been streaming 5v5. That's like the testing server, it's not PBE, it's like the testing. So there's still a lot of things that isn't truly what we'll see in February, which is amazing to think that we're still seeing a game that's not finalized. We'll probably see it better and like see the full
Yeah.
form in February, but I don't think a competitive scene will work on the 5v5 until February.
Right.
And then February is going to happen, and we're just going to have. I really don't know when announcements are going to start being made about player movement, that kind of stuff. We did see. I don't know if this was troll or not, but I think Chicken and Starting All Over and all of them tweeted something about how they were all free agents. So I don't know. Like, if that's true, that means Hammers doesn't have a team, or Hammers is picking someone else up. But again, we have 5v5 here, so we don't really know where splits are going to start happening. That'll be another episode we do. We'll probably sit down for an episode and list out every team in the NA region and talk about what the players were on their rosters at maybe the end of the year sub-wise, and talk about which players we're going to see and speculate, that kind of stuff. We'll do that for another episode. But that'll be a lot of content for us. But I think we just need to survive till March is really our goal. That was the nice thing about last year. We didn't do anything in January and February because we didn't have a podcast yet. We didn't have to worry about this long of a downtime.
I mean, if any of the listeners have any ideas or anything, we're always open for, slide into those DMs. We'll try to respond if we can. And if we like it, we may take your idea if that works out. But yeah, we're just going to be trying to find content and stuff, which I don't think it'll be that hard. The Vainglory Twitter drama normally stays pretty strong. So we could talk about that if need be.
Yeah, we'll definitely be covering everything that's happening no matter what. I think bringing figuring out a third guest to come on every once in a while and just talk about random things is going to be nice, especially if it's like with Left or Brutal or Pauly or, and they want to have a topic they want to talk about. Always can bring them on and talk about it again real quick. They're not going to be our normal 40-hour-minute episodes. There's really no need right now to be, unless we find a good topic to dive into. But, if we're not having all these matches to discuss and break down, there's not going to be as much, stuff we want to talk about when it comes to the competitive scene, especially since there's just so many secrets, like just nothing, no one's saying anything. It's just, it's literally January 1st, so
Yeah.
January 2nd. So, it's not like, oh, it's New Year, here we go, everyone released their schedule, or everyone released their roster right now. Would it be nice? Yes, but hopefully we'll get stuff from EU as well, start circulating, and we'll find more about EU. Even just simple players tweeting, "Hey, I'm a free agent," is really nice because you can start putting some things together. Like, oh, Starting's a free agent. Maybe that means Hammers went and picked up Hazard, or maybe this or this happened. I don't think that happened, but I'm just obviously throwing things out there.
I'm so excited for this stuff to start rolling in on like who's getting who's getting free agents, who's getting picked up by who, and that really needs to start happening.
Yes, it is. It is going to happen soon. But it'll be nice, like I said, to have. We thought 3v3 was dead, but we do have maybe 3 more tournament organizations. The NACL, Viz, Halcyon, all of them are doing more. So we'll see more 3v3, maybe some just interesting, crazy, build, comps, all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I think what's going to be the big change is once 2.12 hits, golden ticket users get their 5v5 content. We'll start making more content with 5v5. Hopefully, my YouTube channel is obviously up and running. Up and running, I say. It's kind of funny. It's probably the most amateur YouTube videos you'll see, but that's okay. I'm learning. But, right now I'm trying to do like the world showcase of not each region, but just the main regions that went to semifinals, do their highlights. So I already done the Impunity one. I'm sitting on Ace right now, and we'll hopefully finish the 2 NA regions. So make sure you guys check those out. They're just highlight tapes of all their best team fights, that kind of stuff. I think they're kind of cool to look back and watch. I think they'll be cool to look back and see when we get to Worlds next year. But who knows? Maybe Crude and I will hop on and do a little video about Crude. You go to that side of the map, I'll go to this side of the map, and let's see who gets the other side quickest with tier 1 boots, tier 2 boots, tier 3 boots. Little things like that. That would be interesting to find out once 2.12 hits. And who knows? There's so many more other content creators out there. I'm not going to be just reproducing content unless I see something that people haven't hit on yet that I want to try to get to first. Articles, I'll try to be doing articles as well, but I'm not an analyst numbers type person. I'm not like physics who can sit down and write a whole mathematical article on why gambling and golden chest box happens the way they do. That is an interesting article. We will talk about it on Thursday. It's pretty hilarious, to tell you the truth. Yeah. Gambling, SEMC or the Vainglory community needs to learn a thing or two about gambling.
That's for sure. I don't know a darn thing about gambling, so I'm not going to get triggered about it. But
I know one thing is if you choose to gamble, then you got to deal with the consequences and not whine about it and expect, whatever. Right.
I have a question. I know one thing we could. So maybe the Vainglorious listeners are curious about this, but we had, maybe released a video of a T-shirt or a long sleeve shirt on the podcast Twitter. Is that something we could look forward to maybe in 2018? We gonna look into that?
Having some T-shirts for our Vainglorious listeners. Maybe we can start getting our own little mob together, our own little following. You can be part of an exclusive club if you have a Time for Rolling eSports podcast T-shirt. The black one is a host shirt, and we will be hopefully making listener shirts. That'd be something I would like to do. Now, T-shirts are expensive, so I don't have a problem giving some of them away, but maybe we could just straight up sell them. But there's a lot of other things that have to go involved with that, like a whole maybe website with a marketplace. But, I don't know if that's a lot for a 2-man, 1-man team to be dealing with things like that. Hey, what?
I think we can figure it out. I think we can work it out.
I mean, if I can find a nice deal and get like 20 shirts, I'm not starting that big, but who knows? I mean, Wolfhand's commented, and he's like, need. So, I'm not against. I may get a little care package together and shoot that out there to the Bay
SEMC.
Area and give them a little care package with some podcast shirts, because that'd be kind of cool to see someone in the background with a podcast shirt on.
That would be.
Yeah, what else happened in 2017 that was great? Playoff Beard, he did give us a nice little shout out on one of his write-ups when there was more drama between boyfriend and girlfriend, SEMC, and the community. What was that one about? Oh, that one was about the player badges, the team badges. Everyone was pissed that, why is there only this many team badges I can buy? Why can't I buy this badge? Why can't I buy this badge? And everyone was like raging. I'm like, guys, chill. First of all, this is like a new feature they just released, and no one they were just testing it. They wouldn't even know if people would enjoy it. And then everyone did, and they're like, all right, we're glad that everyone likes it. We'll probably do this again in the future with more teams. At that time, it was just franchise players. And I was frustrated, so I was sending tweets just like, guys, play up, or like SMC's obviously going to listen and they'll fix things that need to be fixed if it's wrong. But for now, if you don't like any of the teams you see, then just don't buy any. Like, it's not that hard. And he made a nice little post, and he did quote us in there, and that was a nice shout out to have us on his little Reddit post. So the SMC support for us has been nice. Of course, I already said that in my thank you. It's been nice having support from them, and basically recognizing that we're like a real content creators, and that we obviously are big fans of the game, and that's why we're here doing this, is because we believe in the game and we believe in the future. Every time I see a tweet from not just like a random player, but let's say like a true professional in this field, like Munchable, saying he truly believes 2018 will blow up, or Vainglory will blow up in 2018 eSports. I'm just like, oh man, the excitement of knowing that could and hopefully is going to happen is awesome. We saw a huge increase of viewers at Worlds. There was a lot of people hosting the tournament, TSM Double Lift, people saying that people were paid to host it. I don't really care if they were paid or not to host it. The viewers was much higher for Worlds, and I think once we start seeing more and more people actually get to view 5v5, there'll be a lot more talk circulating in other communities about it. I mean, I don't know. When I see 5v5, there's no reason why I think, oh, that's on a phone. That's dumb. I don't think I can ever look at Vainglory 5v5 and think it's going to be a bad game.
I mean, just imagine too, all the, the NA and European people who, had to sleep at that time. I mean, obviously you could say the reverse too for, if it was here in the United States or in the UK, the different times for Singapore and the Asian, East Asian areas, whatever, that the times, you're not going to be able to get everyone on at the same time. So I still think those numbers were huge.
No, I think they were for sure. And especially with, they had certain spikes where people were actually staying up, and then people would kind of fall off, obviously, because it got too late. But no, I think that's going to be an issue for the rest of the. That's just an issue in esports in general. League of Legends World Championship this year was in China. I barely stayed up to watch any of the League of Legends games. I watched a lot of VODs and just highlights and stuff. It was just, especially me not being involved in League, that was more of just wanting to see a stadium packed full of people and be like, wow, that's more people than would be at a football game. That's just insane to see, especially with the numbers they hit. They hit League of Legends Worlds, hit more viewers than the World Series, and just numbers like that. And I think 8 seasons is what it is now for League. Vainglory's on 2, maybe, I would say. We have had 2 worlds, but everything's been different throughout the Vainglory so far. It's truly just been growing and changing. So,
well, now. So what? Do you start over? Is this season 1? Because now it's going to be 5v5. Do you start over again, or do you consider this season 3?
Yeah, I would probably say season 1, because like we've said before, we feel like it's a brand new game. It's not it's not like it's just normal Vainglory now. I don't know, dude. It sucks that we're at this kind of a standstill. We're still gonna be doing content and everything, but we just really want to see. We just want it to be March because like nothing's gonna matter 5v5 wise until we truly see how the competitive scene is gonna pair out. Like
Right.
there's just gonna be the thing that's gonna suck too for us is we're gonna record an episode on Monday night, Monday day, whatever it is, and we've had 2 rosters announced. Like, oh sweet, we can talk about these rosters. We'll release it Tuesday. And Tuesday, while people are listening to it, there's 2 more announcements that have happened, and we're behind. Like we're gonna have to be like doing like
On top of
10-minute
it.
episodes every day about what's changed. I feel like it's gonna be a pretty fast Twitter environment. We're gonna have to keep up on everything constantly.
Yeah, yeah, it's ever changing, man. We know how that goes.
I have a
and
job
I
for
think
you.
we'll be able to. What's that?
Go on your Twitter, and I need you to turn notifications on for every organization, every player, just so you get tweets sent to your phone when they announce things. That way we don't miss any of them.
Yeah, you're insane. Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
No.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of questions I have about teams, but I don't want to get into that right now. I want to save that for later. I want to hear eventually down the road from you, like what team you want to change, what team you want to stay the same, and we'll talk more about that later. But it's gonna be 2 months. We get some 3v3 again. It's gonna be rough because 2.12 will be coming out, and like I don't even know. Like 2.12 will be coming out, but what's the meta gonna be for the tournaments that are happening 3v3? Because so many people will be playing 2.12 5v5. Like there's just gonna be so much
Yeah.
difference about what we're watching, what we're playing, and what we're preparing for. Like it's gonna be like a very confusing time for Vainglory.
So are you prepared for the 5v5 launch to be pushed back to like March?
I don't think it can be. I think if they announce spring
Oh,
starts,
it could be.
Well, I know, but if they announce spring starts in March, like if 5v5 starts in March, then that's when the update has to be released before competitive starts because if stuff goes wrong.
Yeah.
Because I think February
I'm-
will be a good time to be like a lot of scrims happening between orgs and a lot of feedback like, hey, like we've already mentioned before, like, hey, Ghostwing and Blacklaw are useless until 15-minute mark still, like no matter what. And
Right.
maybe adjusting health, adjusting this. I hope February is a good time and SEMC takes that appropriate time, not just for PBE testers, but like true practice, I would say, environments for 5v5 and figuring out as much as possible so everything does run smooth when that first weekend hits of 5v5 because I just don't want to get into that first weekend and then SEMC not be prepared for these 45-minute games that have been happening in scrims with teams because they're so competitive and there's so much more to happen that it's going to last longer and they don't have enough time on the weekend. So obviously we have all the trust in SEMC that everything's going to be in place perfectly to make sure that esports scene hits like it needs to, and not run into major issues. But we've already mentioned that spring is going to be way different than summer.
Yeah.
And I think by the end of summer going into the autumn/worlds type talk, things will start forming more solid. But I really think spring this year is going to be a giant question mark.
Yeah, it definitely will be. We'll have to see how it goes, but we can still only speculate until then.
Yeah. So, 2017 was great. There was we started the podcast. We did 71 episodes in less than 12 months. I think that's pretty good. 2 episodes a week is still our goal. I think changing it right now, unless something drastic happens, I don't think anything will change. Our goal is getting content out to you. Currently, we have the podcast, we have articles, we have YouTube videos, and maybe even a spin-off podcast will be happening. Nothing major, but just other little things that we're really just going to try to dive into content as much as possible because, we think if the game is going to blow up and there's a need for content creators, then we want to be a part of that group. Hopefully with the new computer systems. Oh God, there goes my computer. I just dropped it.
Nice. It's still recording. I can still hear you.
Oh my God. Let's see if it's actually recording though. MacBook down. Oh God. That's what happens when you're resting it on your knee and you try to quietly move.
We will have. Well, I have my desktop set up, but we're waiting on your graphics card to get back. So, which should be here
Tomorrow.
today. Well, technically today.
Technically today. And if it's not here today, I'm driving or walking or running to California, and I'm going to go find the CEO of CyberPower PC. I'm not threatening them. Never mind. I take it back.
It's like you just thought of that mid like thought, like I probably shouldn't do this.
I'm so annoyed. I haven't talked to anyone that matters yet, and I apologize to those telemarketer people I have talked to. But so far, no one gives a shit that I paid $1,400, you paid $1,400, we bought a computer at the same time, and no one is upset that they sent me a broken computer. They just don't care. And maybe that's just what their policy is, and that's how they deal with things. But for me, being a company that builds computers like that, no, I'm just saying, like, if I get a graphics card from them, hopefully today, when you guys are listening to this, and I fix it by Wednesday, everything better be working, unless I'm going to find the number to some CEO and explain to them that I want my money back.
You ain't getting your money back, but you definitely won't be fixing it. You won't be having to pay to fix it this time like you had to pay the first time. Like, oh, sorry, that's not covered in our warranty. I'm sorry, what? You sent me a broken computer. I don't care what warranties you have.
That's called customer service.
Not work.
No, even if it isn't covered in your warranty, you recognize that you sent me a broken piece from the get go. No matter what happened in your building process or your testing process and everything worked, guess what? It didn't work when it got here. And we did everything you said. We literally took my graphics card from my system, put it in Crude's because his was working, and we had the same issue, which perfectly identifies that it was the graphics card that was not correct. So no matter what they send me, it has to work. Plain and simple. Because if it doesn't, then it's my motherboard and I have to send the whole system back. And that's when I'm like, all right, you can send me a $500 Visa to help me feel a little better or something. Because I have to wait how many more weeks until I get my system again.
Right. All right. Anyway, let's a little side tangent there.
All right. 2017 was great. A lot of great things happened. Shout out to everyone once again that was involved in 2017. If you're listening now and you've been listening, who knows how long?
Yeah.
Maybe in March you heard us and you started then and you stuck around. That's fantastic. I hopefully you stick around 2018 because Vainglory hopefully is going to get even better. People who have left Vainglory will be seeing a return of people from back to Vainglory. There'll be a lot of things happening. So 2018 is going to be great. I hope we stick to a lot of the promises. I hope a lot of our dreams and hopes actually get to come true. Luckily for me, my schedule in the spring is much easier than the fall, so I think I'm going to have a lot more opportunity to do a lot more content things. Hopefully Crude will be able to keep up as well and do more on his end. So it's going to be a great 2018. This episode was just quick chit chat about everything that's happening, what we want to do in the future leading up till March, because until then, we don't have much happening. So 3v3 tournaments, make sure you watch them, guys. We'll decide schedule-wise who starts first, when they are, what we keep up with, which ones we cover more of. We honestly are going to cover more of the ones that have professional teams in them. I know NACL does have a couple teams that I will want to cover and talk about. Viz League, the Viz Pro, may be a little more on par with what traditional challenge battles are. So we may see a lot of the challenger teams. I've heard a couple, players just throw teams together with random names like, that are going to be fun to watch, especially with players out there that are just trying to find a roster for 5v5. This is going to be a good time for them to showcase themselves one more time. So it's going to be a good scouting opportunity for teams, a good chance for players to show themselves off one last time heading into 5v5. So that's all I have. Crude, anything else?
I just want to say, I know you got to you did a write-up thanking everyone who's, supported or listened to this. I want to personally thank you. If you, like you said, been here since day one, or if you just started recently, if you spread, awareness of us and help spread the news about us, we appreciate it. So yeah, if you listen, thank you. I just, appreciate it.
Yeah, hopefully we stay alive in 2018 and nothing crazy happens. Not like personally alive. I just meant like the podcast alive.
The podcast. I was like, that went dark.
I hope everyone
Hopefully
stays
we
alive.
survive.
I hope everyone stays alive in 2018. Hey, who knows? We got a lot of things happening in the world that are bigger than Vainglory, but hopefully Vainglory is the thing that keeps me sane and keeps me happy no matter what happens in the world. So here's the 2018. It's gonna be great. I'm excited for the 3v3 tournaments just to start again, just because I'll get to see players play. That'll be nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Other than that, Crude and I are going to keep playing Vainglory ranked on Tier 6, and we're going to keep running into probably,
Tier 5.
the worst players in the world. We'll talk about that on Thursday. I have a few discussions I want to talk about.
I do too.
About some of the matches we've been experiencing in ranked and how I just get so amazed about people. But you know what? That's another rant we can go into later. So cheers to this episode. I never did my total sponsors. One last thank you. I'm sorry, Crude. We're going to end it like this, though. I forgot to. In 2017, we did partner up and become sponsored by Mobile eSports, which has been great. Hopefully, that continues to go well for us in 2018. Just because, they like doing a lot of things with mobile gaming. They really are like us, and a lot of people that are involved in Vainglory believe in the growth of mobile esports and how great I think mobile will be in 2018. So they are trying to get more involved with Vainglory, doing more tournament type stuff and community events, and they're really big into just streaming and playing games with people and running tournament type things. And they have the mobile news. They have a whole website dedicated to just releasing articles about different mobile games that are coming out, and hopefully Crude and I will get to do more with them in 2018, and we can continue to grow with them. So that was a really great end to 2017 as well. Kind of weird for us to have someone reach out to us and then become sponsored by them and have someone support us. So that definitely is a nice cherry on top. So shout out to Mobile eSports, and cannot wait to see what happens with them. So that's my last point.
Yeah, much love.
Much love. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in to Time for Rolling. If you liked what you heard, please leave a review on iTunes or Google Play Music and subscribe for weekly episodes. Follow us on Twitter at Time for Rolling and at TFR_esports. Until next week for another edition of
Time for rolling.